Hi, so I know it's been around 2 to 3 months since I posted my last video saying that I would be posting every single month. And at the time I was committed to that, and I still am. Just a few things came up and I wasn't able to finish the videos that I wanted to, but I can finally do that and it's finally here, and I want to say thank you for all your patience and I hope you enjoy the video. So here we go. Hi there, I'm Jem and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be drawing desserts inspired by SANRIO characters. So let's get into it. First up is My Melody. My Melody is known for a love of pink and cute things, so I decided to create a sakura and macaron inspired cake. Cake slices are things I often draw as warm-ups, so I thought what better way to start the video with a cute cake slice before diving into more experimental and unknown territory. The sketch phase is probably the most important part for me in my art process, for it's a time I can play around with balance and what does and doesn't work. You can often see me changing, adding and taking away different aspects of the sketch before finally moving on to my line work. For the line work, I use the technical pen on Procreate with no pen pressure. I really like the flat effect it gives, and it gives me a chance to thicken up lines manually where I feel fit, such as the stem on the cherry. I had a hard time with some aspects of this drawing. I really liked the concept and the idea of it, but I had trouble actually putting it down. Sometimes the best part about being an artist is having the chance to experiment with different things and push yourself outside of your comfort zone. Colouring is always fun. I prefer to use a warmer colour palette, so instead of eyedropping the colours straight from the reference photo, I altered the colours to suit what I had in mind. While creating this cake, I couldn't decide on the colour frosting. I decided both brown and yellow looked good, but yellow seemed to fit more with the aesthetic. But I still really like the brown. The shading process of this work was a complete learning curve for me. I wanted to explore outside of my comfort zone and try new things with how shading changes the work. I started as usual with my dark red shading and then used a multiply effect to create the right opacity before trying a few new things. I used different brushes, textures, and would often add and remove certain areas of shading. The highlighting was also interesting, trying to remain a flat style while also trying to replicate how real food reacts to lighting was certainly an experience. The final step to this piece was deciding on the background and final effects. I knew from the start I wanted a white border, but I did experiment with a pink glow behind it. I ended up really not liking this and eventually taking it away. For the final shading, I used a couple filters and even tried different brush textures, but the original was the best, so the final My Melody cake was done. The second dessert is inspired by Hello Kitty, Sanrio's most iconic character. For Hello Kitty, I wanted to create a simpler dessert and focus more on her character aspects. I used this dessert as a reference and altered it so it would resemble Hello Kitty more. I added a maraschino cherry for a bow, lots of white whipped cream, and chocolate strips meant to represent Hello Kitty's whiskers, as well as a little Hello Kitty on the side. I'd never really drawn Hello Kitty before, and I actually had a hard time trying to figure her out. You never really understand these simple characters until you have to draw them, and how the tiniest detail can totally throw them off. Finishing up the line art, I again moved to the colouring. I kept the dessert more in browns and neutrals, so I could use the pink bow as an accent colour. This brings more interest and balance to the work. Highlighting and shading was much easier to do during this dessert. I implemented the techniques from My Melody's cake and found that it worked quite nicely on this one too. This, though, did not stop me from experimenting. Again, my style is always developing and changing even over the time of doing these 3 drawings. With the details and the white outline finished, the Hello Kitty dessert is done. The final and one of my most favourite SANRIO characters is Kurumi. Kurumi is my Melody's opposite. She's the dark to her light. I thought the most fitting dessert for her was dark fudge pudding or chocolate melt cake. Chocolate can be sweet but also bitter, and the dark chocolate goes very nicely with Kurumi's aesthetic. In sketching, I go back and forth between accent pieces, such as berries, biscuits, and even some small circles before finding a nice looking composition. I then move on to the lining. Even in the sketch phase, you might miss things. I realised while lining that some of the accent pieces weren't sitting right, so I was able to correct them in this lining phase. Looking at Kurumi's design, she has a pink accent colour. I wanted to incorporate this into the dessert, so I added what looks like small pieces of raspberries to the outside of the pudding. As I was looking at this piece, I realised pink and brown, it needed another colour, so I decided to add a dark purple, though I thought about doing a yellow, but ended up not liking it and sticking with the dark purple. As for the same with my Melody and Hello Kitty, shading and highlighting had improved. I was able to spend less time on the process, for I knew what I wanted to do and how I could achieve it. I was really happy with how the shine on the hot fudge turned out. After all the shading and highlighting was done, I cleaned up the piece, coloured the line, and it was done. And that is the final dessert. So that's it, the first video of me making SANRIO character inspired desserts. I want to say thank you for your patience with me, and I hope that you liked the video. I want to let you know that the second one is in process, and hopefully I will be able to get it out on time this time. Please tell me in the comments if you like to see these as stickers. I'm thinking of putting them on my Redbubble, but you know, there's character restrictions there, so we'll see how that goes. And hey, if you thought my video was alright, consider liking, commenting or subscribing. It would help so much. I really enjoy making these videos, and I'm so happy that I'm able to be in a space where I can create them again. If you want to see more of my art, all links in the description, and I hope to see you in my next video. Till then, bye!